Welcome back to the weekly stock portfolio update videos. Currently, my two stock portfolios sit at a combined value of over $133,000. That's made up of the $73,479 in my stake portfolio and then the nearly $60,000 in my Vanguard portfolio. Today I'm going to be breaking down what's happened in the last week, my portfolio gains, and what I plan to do going forward. So quick little update, I can show you some of my key holdings. You can see Amazon, Google, Microsoft, VOO. In terms of Amazon, in the last week, the stock's actually done extremely well. So it's up 8.4%. And that's been one of the key drivers for my portfolio this week. I have over $9,700 invested in equity now, and I'm up around 24%, 23%. So it's been a company that I believe in long term. It's had its little ups and downs, highs and lows. But again, Amazon is a company I think will really benefit from AI in the long term, whether that be in its white collar business or its blue collar business. You look at AWS, you look at their retail distribution side of things. I think it's a company for me to hold long term. Next, in terms of my holdings, we have Google. So Google's a company that's done extremely well for me. And you look in the last 6 months, up 86%. And in the last week, it's had a nice little rebound as we started the year, up around 3.73%. Lots of people credit the start of the year. There's a bit of a stock market bounce. But yeah, overall, it's been good for me after a slower December. Microsoft, similar, not as good of a week. It did have a point where it was a bit higher, but still nearly 2%, so not bad for myself. And then VOO, which just tracks the overall S&P 500, you can see in the last week is up around 1%. So again, good gains to start the year. Overall, that's taken this portfolio to around $73,400. As this gradually gets closer to $75,000, so 3/4 of a way to 100 grand just in the one portfolio. I'm sitting on around $50 in dividends, so I'm just planning on keeping those there at the moment. And then regarding my Vanguard portfolio, you can see that my just one position, which is just the Vanguard International Shares ETF, VGS, sitting at around $154.59, and I have around 384 units or stock of that ETF. That just tracks global positions. I think it's 1,300 companies across the world, heavily focused probably more towards America, because that's where I do think a lot of the best companies and gains will be. So $59,000 invested in there. This portfolio has gotten a bit smaller since I did sell out of previous positions, but I'm building it back up. You can see I have some pending distributions or dividends. So these are some dividends that I will get paid from VGS. It's not the biggest, but the $181, it all counts, and it'll be reinvested right back into the portfolio to buy another share. So that's kind of how the Vanguard portfolio is looking. This is very stable. Not much has changed in terms of what's going on with that. That's the same with all my holdings. I have mentioned here I'm saving for a property, so that's one of my biggest goals. So I might potentially have to sell out of some of this, but the more I can get gains, the more this portfolio can help towards my deposit, because I'd love to still keep this portfolio above $100,000. So that means maybe if I have to sell out, let's say by the time I sell out, it's $35,000 to keep it above 100 grand. Every dollar counts towards the deposit. So that's a big thing for me. If we have a look at my Excel spreadsheet, you can kind of break it up here on how the holdings are weighted. Yeah, very simple now that I've sold out order positions, but it's been, I think it'll be another good year for me. Obviously, I have no control over the markets, but if I can continue to do the right thing with dollar cost averaging, building positions that I believe in, growing my savings, I think it'll be a good year of real compound interest. Last year was my best year ever, and I plan to grow on that every single year. The growth has been good. Even down years like 2022, just because of deposits, I was able to grow the portfolios, but I think overall, I've really reached that point now. I'm just at the start of it, but where the portfolio is really carrying and the gains can really help more than just the deposits now. In terms of dividends, I haven't set a dividend goal for this year. My dividends are just, I get what I get. Last year I set the goal of $2,000 and I broke that, but I did sell some of my highest dividend paying investments. So this year's dividends I expect to be a lot less, especially if I do sell out of some of my portfolio to help purchase a property. So that's kind of my thoughts on the dividend side of things. Again, all will be reinvested back into the portfolio. But yeah, I'm not expecting much gains on that side of things. Overall, my plan with this portfolio for the year, I do have a goal. If I was not to sell anything that I had towards the first home deposit, then I would hopefully be aiming for a portfolio value of around $160,000 to $170,000. But because it's likely that I will sell out a chunk of it, my goal is to end the year hopefully around, let's say, $110,000, $105,000, just because I understand I will have to sell a decent chunk of my portfolio, and then a bit of my cash flow will be going to property. But I think that's important to diversify, and hopefully I can get good gains in that as well to build wealth in my overall investing journey. So this was just a bit of a quick update. There's nothing much has really changed. This portfolio is sitting up, it's finally broke 50% now, so 51% in the gains, nearly $25,000 in gains, which is really strong. Same with my Vanguard portfolio, it's had really good gains since I started it. And yeah, it just shows you anyone can do it. I'm no special investor. I started as an 18-year-old, self-taught, never had any family that's invested in stocks or shares, so it's been a good journey for me, and I plan to continue to do it and track these videos online here. I think I'm going to do a 2026 video just kind of outlining my budget and my goals for 2026 soon, so keep that in mind. Some of my recent videos have done quite well, so thank you for any of the people who are watching it, new or old. And yeah, feel free to share how your portfolios are doing as we enter 2020.